Okay, let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt a haptic buzz in your pocket, reached for your phone with that Pavlovian reflex, and realized absolutely nothing happened? No text, no email, no likes, just a phantom notification. In 2026, we call that a ghost update, and it's the physical symptom of a much deeper sickness.
We're living in a world that is obsessed with the next. Think about that tiny red dot on your app icons. It's not just a notification, it's a personal indictment. It's telling you that what you have right now, the tool you use, the way you work, maybe even the way you think is already obsolete. It's buggy, it's old. And here's the wild part. We've actually started treating our own lives like software. We spend our weekends optimizing our morning routines, upskilling for jobs that don't exist yet, and updating our digital personas until we're essentially just a collection of half-finished beta versions. We're the only species on Earth that spends its free time trying to become more efficient for a future that never actually arrives. I'll be honest, I caught myself doing this last Tuesday. I was researching a productivity app while I was supposed to be, being productive. The irony isn't lost on me. We are so busy installing the next version of ourselves that we never actually run the current one. It's a paradox, right? We call this progress. But what if progress isn't a ladder we're climbing? What if it's something much more violent? Is your soul still running on version 1.0 while your body is trying to handle a 5.0 world? Let's dive into why moving forward feels like being evicted from your own life. To understand this, we have to go back to 1940. There was this German Jewish philosopher named Walter Benjamin. He was fleeing the Nazis, carrying a single watercolor painting by Paul Klee called Angelus Novus, the Angel of History. Now imagine this angel. Benjamin describes him with his eyes staring wide, his mouth open, and his wings spread. He looks like he's about to move away from something he is fixedly gazing at. Here's the punchline that blew my mind: the angel wants to stay. He wants to awaken the dead and make whole what has been smashed. But a storm is blowing from paradise. It's caught in his wings with such violence that the angel can no longer close them. This storm irresistibly propels him into the future, to which his back is turned while the pile of debris before him grows skyward. Benjamin said, "This storm is what we call progress. This isn't your typical onward and upward graduation speech. This is terrifying." Benjamin realized that we aren't choosing innovation. We're being blown backward into the future by a hurricane of our own making. Think about your trash folder on your desktop. Think about that drawer in your kitchen filled with tangled charging cables for phones that don't turn on anymore. To the angel, and you, if you're honest, history isn't a chain of grand achievements. It's one single catastrophe that keeps piling wreckage upon wreckage. We look at a new AI breakthrough and see a miracle. The angel looks at it and sees the wreckage of the skills you spent 20 years mastering, now discarded in the dirt. We're so busy staring at the debris of our past burnout that we can't even see where the storm is taking us. We think we're the pilots of this journey, but Benjamin is whispering from 80 years ago, "No, you're just the ones with the broken wings." This completely changed how I look at my legacy folders. They aren't just old files. They're the ruins of who I used to be before the next update blew me away. So if Benjamin's storm is pushing us, where are we landing? We're landing in what philosopher Byung-Chul Han calls the burnout society, and in 2026, this has reached a fever pitch. Han argues that we've moved past the age of being told what to do by bosses. Instead, we've entered the age of auto-exploitation. We are our own taskmaster. We've turned our lives into a version orphanage, a psychological graveyard of workflows, tools, and identities that we mastered 3 months ago, only to have them decoised by the next API update. Think about the temporal anxiety you feel scrolling through LinkedIn. You see someone leveraging a new AI tool you've never heard of, and suddenly you feel like you're standing still in a moving train. But here's the intellectual shock. You feel behind not because you're slow, but because the future is actively deleting your present to save server space. It's a digital eviction. In the 20th century, you could buy a car and keep it for 20 years. In 2026, your tools and your professional relevance have a shelf life of a banana. Han says this: multitasking, this constant upskilling, isn't a sign of advanced civilization. It's actually a regression to the wild. An animal in the wild has to eat while constantly looking over its shoulder for predators. That's us. We're eating our lunch while checking emails, watching a tutorial, and updating our resumes. We've lost the ability to simply be because being still in a storm feels like dying. We've been convinced that optimization is the goal of life, but optimization is for machines. When a human tries to optimize every second, they don't become a better human, they just become a very buggy, very tired computer. We are being evicted from the present moment because the present doesn't have a pro version to sell us. It's just now, and now is the only thing the storm of progress can't monetize. Okay, so the storm is blowing, the debris is piling up, and we're all exhausted. What do? Do we just throw our phones into the ocean and go live in a cave? I mean, tempting, but probably not practical. Instead, we need a rebellion of the obsolete. This is the part that gave me so much hope. We need to find what I call analog anchors. Use something dumb on purpose. I started using a film camera once a week. There's no instant preview, no AI enhancement, and no cloud sync. If I mess up the shot, it's just a bad shot. And that is a radical political act in 2026. It's a way of saying, I refuse to be optimized right now. Then there's Status Quo Saturday. Try this, 24 hours with no self-improvement, no gym tracking, no learning a new language apps, no planning for next week. Just sit with the wreckage of your current life. Be outdated on purpose. We've been taught that being obsolete is a death sentence. But in a world that never stops updating, obsolescence is actually the only path to freedom. When you're obsolete, the storm stops pulling at your wings because you've stopped trying to fly with it. You've dropped your anchor. Byung-Chul Han talks about the power of deep boredom. Not the scrolling TikTok while you're bored, kind of boredom, but the real, heavy, nothing-to-do silence. That's where creativity actually lives. That's where the angel of history finally gets to close his eyes for a second. It's not about being anti-tech. It's about being pro-human. It's about realizing that the parts of you that can't be quantified by an API or a LinkedIn metric are actually the most valuable parts of you. They are the only things that aren't waiting for an update. Let's bring it all home. We spend so much energy trying to fix our flaws, patch our bugs, and upgrade our lives. But look at that pile of wreckage the angel sees. Your half-finished projects, your outdated hobbies, the skills you learned just because you love them. Even if they're useless, now that wreckage, that's not failure. That's your autobiography. That's the evidence that you actually lived rather than just processed. There's a profound beauty in being buggy. A machine with a bug is a person. Our inefficiencies are where our personality lives. Our slowness is where our empathy lives. Our obsolescence is where our soul lives. What happens if the angel of history stops trying to fix the debris and simply sits down within it? He finds that the ruins are actually quite beautiful when the wind stops howling. So here's the question I want you to sit with today. If the world stopped updating right this second, if there were no more new versions, no more next big things, no more progress, would the version of you sitting in that chair finally be stable? Because the truth is, you aren't a work in progress. You're a human being who's been buried under a mountain of patch notes and feature requests. Once a week, be obsolete. Find the wreckage of your current life. Look at it and realize, this is plenty. You don't need a patch. You don't need an update. You just need to be here, in the present, before the future tries to delete it again. Thanks for exploring the ruins with me today. Stay buggy, stay beautifully obsolete, and I'll see you in the wreckage.